Ready to resume, Mr. President.
Session resumed.
Mr. President, I never had a doubt whenever you drove alone. I know you're a trustworthy husband.
Thank you, Your
Si
Honor.
Senator Lauren lang yun na medyo suspicious. Mr. President, I move that we recognize next to interpolate the budget is our distinguished Deputy Majority Floor Leader, Senator Risa Hontiveros.
Senator Risa Hontiveros, the Deputy Majority Leader, is recognized.
Salamat po, Mr. President. At magandang hapon po, Mr. Chairman. Kung maaari po, magsimula po ako dun sa paksanong staffing at expertise para i-finalize yung local public transport route plans. Mr. President, the DOTR has publicly committed to completing 50% of route rationalization by the end of 2025 and 100% by 2026. Given that as of mid-2024, only roughly 11% or 174 out of about 1,600 LGUs had approved local public transport route plans or LPTRPs. Ano pong specific technical interventions at additional budget allocations ang nasa 2026 GAB para realistically makalundag mula sa 11% completion rate hanggang 50% sa loob lamang ng isang taon, Mr. Chair?
Mr. President, regarding road rationalization, at present, according to Secretary Lopez, they're at 36%. And also, from the local government units, the DOTR already took over. No? Sila na po ang mag-implement by next year. And also, next year, they target 75% na?
By mid-77, by next year, and the entire year, 100%.
By mid-next year, about 77%, and hopefully by the end of the year, they would target to have 100% of the route rationalization. Likewise,
So we have to procure this music.
also for additional information, as of November 15, 2025, 1,237 LGUs out of 1,591 LGUs have already submitted their draft local public transportation route plan for the review of the DOTR and the LTFRB. Out of the 1,591 LGUs, 617 LGUs are compliant or have been approved. 421 have been issued a notice of compliance and special notice of compliance. 196 LGUs have been identified for the issuance of an NNC. So those are additional information, Your Honor.
Salamat, good sponsor, Mr. President. So maganda, nakikita po natin meron talagang improved rate na pinaplano ng completion ng department hanggang katapusan ng susunod na taon. Meron bang any special technical interventions or additional budget allocations na nasa GAB para ma-achieve itong mga targets na ito, Mr. President?
Sorry for the day, Mr. President, because
It's all right, Mr. President.
I'm still having a difficult time with my eyesight. Hindi ko babasa yung kanilang note cards.
Oh, take
so,
your time,
kinukunan ko
Mr.
muna ng
Chair.
picture.
Apo.
The strategic transport model for the MUSEP or the Greater NCR is set for completion by end 2027 and will guide the metropolitan route rationalization study for 2025. Ongoing route planning activities include capacity building under the JICA TCP, workshops, LPTRP manual, enhancement, operator training, guidelines for PUB stops and intermodal hubs to improve accessibility and modal shift, procurement of consultants for interregional and interprovincial route rationalization, and finally, finalization of NCR LPTRPs for Infra-LGU routes, supported by DOTR, LTFRB, led formulation, workshops, and public consultations.
Salamat, Mr. President. At yung, kung hindi man lahat, yung ilan sa mga interventions na ito, pati yung maganda, no, meron palang mas strategic pa na framework hanggang 2027. Yung ilan or lahat po ng ito ay may additional budget allocations po sa 2026 GAB, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. President, Your Honor, for the PTMP, no, under GAB, it has given a budget of 1.3 billion. But through the Senate's intervention, we increased it to 2.5 billion.
Okay.
So halos na doble po natin here in the Senate Committee Report.
Alright, salamat po, Mr. President. And mamaya may follow-up question ako tungkol dun sa binanggit ng good sponsor na yung JICA, yung papel ng JICA sa importanteng prosesong ito.
And according to Secretary Lopez,
Yes,
with
Mr.
this
Chair.
increase, it will address the issues that were mentioned earlier. Malaking tulong po.
At mabuti po yan, Mr. Chair. Salamat po. So, to ensure that this 2-year timeline is not another moving target, pwede po bang mag-submit ang department ng organizational structure at saka staffing pattern nung Franchise Planning and Monitoring Division at nung PUVMP Project Management Office, Mr. President?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. President, the Secretary said they will comply. By next week, they will be submitting to Your Honor's office, Your Honor.
Maraming salamat, Mr. President. Specifically, we request a table showing the ratio of urban transport planners to the number of pending LPTRPs. And if the ratio is shown to be insufficient, may signed contract po ba ang department para sa third-party manpower support para ma-clear talaga yung backlog by 2025, Mr. President?
Your Honor, Mr. President, according to Secretary Lopez, that will be based on the consultant recommendation that they will be procuring by next year using these funds, Your Honor.
Alright. Salamat, Mr. President. Opo, na-note ko nga yung isa sa mga specific technical interventions na binanggit nyo kanina ay yung pag-procure ng mga consultants na ito. Okay. So, dako naman po ako dun sa 2 root causes ng PTMP unbankability sa DBP. Mr. President, there were reports that indicate that the Development Bank of the Philippines has suspended its Pasada loan program for transport cooperatives and is proposing to raise the required equity or down payment from 5% to a staggering 25% due to a past due rate of 25% among borrowers. I have a 2-part question regarding this policy shift. First, regarding the financial consequences. Aware po ba ang DBP sa pagkaalam ng department? Aware ba ang bank na yung pagtaas ng equity requirement sa 25% sa unit na nagkakahalagang 2.8 million pesos ay pepwersahin ang isang kooperatiba na mag-shell out ng 700,000 pesos bawat jeepney sa upfront cash. considering that the government subsidy is only 260,000 pesos, hindi ba effectively, Mr. President, mateterminate nito yung modernization program para sa vast majority ng transport sector na hindi kakayaning erase itong kapital na to, Mr. President?
Your Honor, Mr. President, according to our to the DOTR, they are already negotiating with the Development Bank of the Philippines and Land Bank for the restructuring of the debts, and they will also be increasing the subsidy with the given the budget that the DOTR will have next year, and also they will now implement an open market so that it will be a lot of players can come in, and the standards have been adjusted accordingly kasi po napakamahal ho talaga ng modern jeepney. It costs about 2.5 million, but with their adjustments, cheaper models may now come in to as low as 1.2 million. So halos kalahati na lang po. Yun na, I think that has been the problem. Medyo malaki po. It's a little bit expensive for modern jeepney, yung 2.5 million. So hopefully, if they can really achieve this by the adjustment of the standards to cheaper models of 1.2 million.
Salamat, Mr. President. Yung negotiation po ba ng department sa DBP at Land Bank ay may target na i-retain yung equity requirements sa 5% or at least something lower than 25%, Mr. President?
With regards to the issue of the equity requirement, LTFRB plans to, as mentioned earlier, to increase the subsidy so that they will have now the capacity to pay the loans by increasing the subsidy this coming year, Your Honor.
Magkano po ang increased subsidy na plano ng department ibigay, Mr. President?
At present, Your Honor, the subsidy is 260,000. So they plan to increase it to 400,000.
400,000, Mr. President. So mukhang kailangan pa rin i-negotiate na huwag itaas mula sa 5% hanggang 25% yung puhunan. Susubukan pa rin ba ng department i-retain at 5%? Kasi bagamat mas maigi na ang 400,000 kesa sa 250,000 subsidy, still, kahit pa yung mas murang modelo na 1 million plus ang papasok, 400,000 at best would represent 40% nung kabuang halaga, Mr. President.
Your Honor, Mr. President, according to the OTR, that they will really try to negotiate to really lower the interest rates from DBP and Land Bank. So, yun po, the lowest possible. So, sasagarin na po nila talaga para maging mas magaan po ito sa mga operators, Your Honor.
Maraming salamat para doon, Mr. President, at sa department din. Ano yung magiging opening bid nila? Susubukan ba nilang magnego para sa 5% pa rin, Mr. President?
Yes, Your Honor. They agree. The 5% po, that will be the starting.
Salamat, Mr. President. I wish the department the best of luck at sigurado ko yung ibang mga nasa public utility vehicles, lalo na sa jeepney sector, ay magwi-wish din ng luck sa kanila dahil marami-rami yung pumasok na sa programa at malamang marami-rami pa ang gustong makapasok basta't makalikha ng conducive environment yung department para sa kanila. Secondly, Mr. President, regarding the root cause of unbankability, posible po ba na yung high default rate, yung nabanggit kaninang 25% past due rate among borrowers, ay dahil o ay hindi dahil sa mismanagement ng mga kooperatiba, pero dahil hindi pa nase-secure ng department yung mismong mga assets na the bank is lending against. Specifically, Mr. President, nakatanggap na po ba ang DBP ng assistance mula sa department para i-clear yung mga colorum vehicles mula dun sa mga rationalized routes? Kasi po, Mr. President, if the state mandates modernization but fails to remove illegal competition, hindi ba lumalabas na regulatory taking po yan ng franchise value at magja-justify ng shift dun sa walang kamatayang advocacy ng transport sector panahon pa ng pandemic na service contracting kung saan yung gobyerno na ang mag-a-assume ng revenue risk, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. President, according to our secretary, they will really be very, very aggressive against these colorum vehicles. And currently, they are actually, they have already apprehended a lot, no? And they will be submitting a report regarding this matter, so that at least I know we know that this is a concern, so that at least the new operators will have a better income, no? Once the colorum vehicles and other illegal public utility vehicles on the road are apprehended, Your Honor. They will submit us a report on the drive against colorum vehicles.
I would appreciate that, Mr. President, at muli salamat in advance no sa department para dyan. Just to give broad strokes, pag sinasabi nilang marami na silang na-apprehend, maybe what percentage nung mga alam nilang mga colorum vehicles ang na-apprehend na nila mula sa mga rationalized routes, Mr. President?
This year, Honor, sir, for additional information, according to the Coast Guard and the LTFRB, they have apprehended about 2,000 buses and jeepneys, colorum buses and jeepneys.
From what percentage of the rationalized routes, Mr. President?
Your Honor, Secretary Lopez said based on the percentage of the rationalized route, they will be submitting again. They will complete. They will include this in their report that they will be submitting to Your Honor.
All right. Salamat, Mr. President. Dahil kung medyo marami pa sa mga rationalized routes ay hindi na clear yung mga colorum vehicles doon, kung mabagal man yung progress dyan sa kung anumang dahilan, baka pwedeng maging parte nga ng solusyon bukod sa expansion ng modernization program ay yung pagsama kahit ng component sa modernization program ng service contracting kung saan gobyerno na mag-a-assume ng revenue risk para mag-secure ng ganyang mas mataas na income sa public transport drivers and operators natin, Mr. President.
Your Honor, Mr. President, unfortunately, yung pong service contract of about 1.3 billion in the GAB was not included in the Senate report, and it was transferred to the PTMP. But they are requesting that this will be a big leap, no, towards their for the route rationalization and their.
The service contract helps the legitimate cooperatives that.
And the service contracting will be able to help and support the legitimate cooperatives modernize. So they're appealing that we restore, if not add, no, ito pong natanggal na budget. Nandito lang po yung chairman natin. Hopefully, this will, we'll submit also our recommendation.
Salamat, Mr. President. Pag ginawa po yan ng ating Vice Chair, sasama po itong representasyong ito para suportahan yung appeal na ito ng department. Salamat, Mr. President. At yung high default rate, yun ngang 25% po, symptom din ba iyan ng badly designed routes mismo? We understand that the DOTR's consultants, TTPI and UP and CTS, and even after JICA, na binanggit ng good sponsor, Mr. President, even after JICA has also stepped up to help, DOTR's consultants are struggling to deliver accurate route plans because they're relying on obsolete data that ignores post-pandemic travel patterns. Paano nga ba makakapautang, Mr. President, ang bangko batay sa isang route rationalization plan na hindi po nakakapture kung nasa saan talaga yung mga pasahero, Mr. President?
Yes, Secretary Lopez said he agrees with your Honor's observation. No, that's why for PTMP, they would want to involve the consultant already. It's part of their budget, and they will now make use of the technology. No, it will now be technology driven, so that it will help in the improvement of the route rationalization. And also, last but not the least, they are coordinating closely also with the LGUs concerned.
Well, salamat, Mr. President. Sana po itong mas paggamit ng teknolohiya at saka koordinasyon ng LGUs, dahil yun din ang first line ng coordination ng mga public utility vehicle operators at drivers, no, yung Committee on Transportation halimbawa sa LGU, na ito ay makapag-deliver talaga ng mas maayos na mga ruta na mas magiging solid na basehan ng mga bangko sa pagpapautang sa mga kooperatiba. Huling issue ko po sa paksang ito, Mr. President, yung consequence ng delayed route rationalization plan. Mr. President, many consolidated cooperatives remain unbankable because the route rationalization plan, especially for Mega Manila, is severely delayed. Kaya wini-welcome ko rin po, Mr. President, yung sinabi ng good sponsor kanina tungkol sa target na makumpleto sa lalong madaling panahon nung plano para sa NCR. But ito, Mega Manila, severely delayed. And this prevents the LTFRB from issuing the necessary notice of selection to the cooperatives. However, DOTR's ongoing JICA study nga po for the route rationalization plan, which will provide the much-awaited official and, gaya ng nabanggit ng good sponsor, Mr. President, technically vetted 10-year ridership projections per finalized route, will not be completed until mid-2027. So magkikita pa po tayo ulit dito sa budget plenary interpellation, Mr. President, bago makumpleto yan. So this additional long wait means that consolidated transport co-ops, which have followed, they've followed the government mandate, are presently in financial limbo. So for the next 1.5 years, nasa financial limbo sila. Operators that have consolidated into co-ops are already married to the modernization mandate. But the absence of the notice of selection, the NOS, until route viability is confirmed by the DOTR, denies them the ridership guarantee needed for bank loans. So, ang hirap po, committed sila sa programa, uutang na sana sa bangko, pero madidelay ng 1.5 taon pa yung isang requirement. So, may 2 questions on this, Mr. President. Pwede po bang mag-provide ang department ng comparative matrix na pinapakita yung total number of cooperatives per city and province that are fully consolidated, how many among them have already successfully received a final NOS or Certificate of Public Convenience, CPC, based on an approved route plan, demonstrating how many of these entities are currently in financial limbo, Mr. President. So pwede po bang ma-provide yung matrix na iyon, Mr. President?
Yes, Secretary Lopez commits that they will submit the matrix and other pertinent documents that will be required next week.
Salamat, Mr. President. At sana nga po kasama doon yung ilan sa total number of co-ops na to per Political Administrative Unit or LGU ay may final NOS or CPC na base sa approved route plan. Para makita po natin ilan sa kanila ang in financial limbo nga po, Mr. President. And pangalawa at huli sa paksang ito, former DOTR Secretary Vince Dizon told this representation in April this year that one immediate way out of this financial limbo is increasing the roads where there will be dedicated lanes for consolidated co-ops, especially those that have already taken out loans for modern fleets. This can indeed increase the number of trips per day that they can make. Ito po bang setting up ng mas maraming dedicated lanes? Ala yung EDSA, Bus Carousel, Mr. President, funded po ba ito sa 2026 NEP, Mr. President?
Your Honor, Mr. President, the EDSA Carousel has funding. Mm-hmm. But for the other dedicated lanes that they have proposed in the other major arteries, unfortunately, wala hong funding. So it's just EDSA Carousel that was given funding.
Hindi po ba nag-request ang department ng dedicated lanes para dito sa mga transport co-ops, Mr. President? Lalo na jeepney transport co-ops.
Yes, they did, Your Honor, Mr. President. Unfortunately, it was not included in the NEP.
I see. May plano po ba sila kung hindi man appeal ngayong taon para sa mga susunod na taon? Para maunahan naman yung 1.5 taon na in financial limbo pa itong mga jeepney co-ops, Mr. President.
Your Honor, again, the Secretary is requesting and appealing for additional funding for this. If given, I think this will really greatly improve ito pong dedicated lanes and others. Of course, this will also improve the the projected income of ito pa mga cooperatives if in case there will be a dedicated lanes. And and not to mention that of course the traffic flow as well.
So therefore, Mr. President, achieving some of the objectives nung Transport Modernization Program in the first place. So muli, makikipagtrabaho po ang representasyong ito sa ating sponsor sa puntong ito, Mr. President. Salamat po.
We welcome the support of us, Your Honor, for this program.
Nga po. Dako na po ako sa DOTR Labor Management Dialogue Mechanism. My office has been in close coordination with labor unions and workers' associations supporting construction workers in the ADB-funded Malolos-Clark Railway Project and South Commuter Railway Project. These projects, while critical to our national development, continue to face recurring and documented cases of labor standards and labor law violations, including delayed or unpaid wages, non-remittance of SSS and Pag-ibig contributions, excessive working hours, unsafe working conditions, and poor living arrangements, especially among subcontracted workers. One concrete proposal repeatedly surfaced in these discussions is the adoption of a labor management dialogue mechanism. This mechanism will serve as a structured platform for regular dialogue between the Workers' Association or union, general contractors, and DOTR. A concept note has already been prepared, and I understand that DOTR, together with at least 2 joint venture contractors, had expressed willingness to pilot test this mechanism. So, Mr. President, ano po yung current status at internal decision-making timeline para i-institutionalize itong proposed labor management dialogue mechanism concept note, Mr. President?
Mr. President, Your Honor, feedback and suggestions from labor organizations are more than welcome. So we can ensure that the labor practices of their contractors are up to standard. In line with this, the DOTR is in contact with Building and Wood Workers International regarding the establishment of a labor management dialogue mechanism. DOTR discussed the proposal with BWI last 14 October 2025, and both parties are currently discussing next steps. The same proposal is being discussed in parallel with relevant contractors. The DOTR is fully supportive and committed to bridge the discussion between the contractors, BWI, and workers, Your Honor.
Maraming salamat para doon, Mr. President, at sa department muli. May internal decision timeline po ba sila para i-institutionalize yung labor management dialogue mechanism na ito, Mr. President?
Yes, Your Honor. According to Secretary Lopez, by first quarter next year, they intend to enter into a memorandum of agreement already.
Maraming salamat, Mr. President, at sa Secretary. Pang Happy New Year ito sa BWI at sa mga partner unions at associations nila. Something really to look forward to in the new year, Mr. President. And huling tanong sa paksang ito, since the department and at least 2 joint venture contractors had previously expressed willingness to pilot the LMDM, so even before the first quarter next year, pwede po bang mag-commit ang DOTR ngayong araw na agad i-operationalize itong structured mechanism kahit dun sa dalawa munang kapilot nila, tapos periodically mag-ulat sa Senado tungkol sa progress nila, Mr. President?
Yes, Secretary Lopez is nodding his head, and he said that they will comply.
Maraming salamat, Mr. President, at sa good secretary. And huling tanong ko na lang po para sa interpelasyong ito, Mr. President, tungkol sa Philippine Coast Guard. The Senate augmented the budget of the PCG by about 8.6 billion pesos in the Senate version of the GAB for the purchase of floating assets. At narinig ko nga po si good sponsor, Mr. President, kanina may binanggit na 4.9 billion pesos para sa 4 million floating assets, if I noted these correctly. I welcome the much-needed and well-deserved additional support for the PCG. pwede ko lang po bang tanungin kung bahagi ng amendment na ito ay para makabili ng unmanned surface vehicles? At kung oo, ilang units ng mga ito ang bibilihin sa 2026, Mr. President?
Your Honor, Mr. President, we included in that purchase is a 97-meter MRV, or multi-road vessel, response vessel, 97 meters. But most are smaller aluminum boats because of the current situation that we are always now being visited by calamity. So they will also use these aluminum boats, about 400, about 40 aluminum boats that they will be used for search and rescue.
Okay.
But there is no unmanned vessel on the list.
Kung ganon, Mr. President, para lang i-put on record na I received a letter from the PCG asking for support for the purchase of this asset, yung pong mga USVs or unmanned surface vehicles, which I will forward to the committee. And I hope the good chair can consider augmenting their budget for this. These USVs are a necessity in protecting our territory and would help the PCG achieve this goal, Mr. President.
And 197. Actually, the total, they concentrated more on the multi-role vessels.
Yes.
As I mentioned earlier, there's 197-meter. Medyo malaki po ito.
Apo.
Para hindi nabubuli masyado. And then, there are 3 87 meters as well. So at least hindi naman again, we, just like the AFP, we do not have plans of matching Chinese Coast Guard, but at least that minimum credible posture, no, na re-respetuhin naman. So hopefully we can already have this. So siguro in 2 to 3 years din po construction, even 4 years. So hopefully we can have this as soon as possible as part of our West Philippine Sea protection.
Opo, dito po i-construct, Mr. President. Hindi po.
Your Honor, yung pong 97 meters will be from Japan.
Okay po.
And then the others will be a joint venture with Ostal. And it will be, meron pong one will be constructed in Cebu.
Salamat, Mr. President. That's good news also para dun sa overall na pagtaguyod natin ng self-reliant defense posture, whether sa Coast Guard or sa AFP. So gaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, Mr. President, welcome ko po yung kailangan talaga at deserve na dagdag na suporta sa PCG. Sa pamamagitan man nung mga MRVs na ito, aluminum boats, and yun na nga, pag isasubmit ko na lang po yung sulat din nila tungkol din sa mga unmanned surface vehicles at sana baka magawan din po natin ng paraan. Hindi man yung kabuuan, kahit bahagi, simula ngayong taon, moving forward.
We take your honors to support for the Philippine Coast Guard, and likewise, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank our chair of the Committee on Finance for approving most of the committee's recommendation regarding the Coast Guard because of the precarious situation in the West Philippine Sea. We really need to give our men, no doubt yung men and women natin of the Coast Guard will be willing to sacrifice even their lives, but we need to give them the proper equipment. Kaya nga po yung Teresa Magbanua class, that's our biggest ship. We will be ordering one also. Yun po yung 97 meters from Japan.
Okay.
and then 3 more 87 meters. So, ang target nila is about 5 of these in the coming years. So, kahit na hindi naman natin kaya, dahan-dahan po, no? We will have a very, we plan to have a respectable Coast Guard fleet by in the next coming years.
Maraming salamat, Mr. President. Sumasali po itong representasyong ito sa pagpapasalamat ng Vice Chair sa ating Chair. Para sa interpelasyong ito, maraming salamat, good sponsor sa DOTR family at Mr. President or Madam.
We'd like to thank Senator Otiveros also for the support for the DOTR family, especially sa Coast Guard. No? We really appreciate the support for the Coast Guard and everybody for the DOTR family.
Salamat, Mr. Chair, Mr. President.